Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
everybody.
Good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to
Good morning.
welcome to Coffee and Conversations with AMR Elite Realtors. I am Mashana Perry with Making Moves Happen Realty in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am also a realtor with AMR Elite Realtors.
I am Juanita Winky Kennedy, Associate Broker with AMR Elite Realtors. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Davis. I am a senior mortgage loan officer with Homeside Financial slash Lower LLC.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. So let's get into it because to buy a home, you do need a great lender. And I will say that Brenda is a wonderful, awesome loan. What is it? Senior mortgage officer. Let me get that title right.
You can say loan officer. Yeah, I mean, they put senior in front of it. I don't know how many years you have to have, but, of course,
That's
you need
all
to
right.
do
That's
this
all right.
time.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Miss Brenda, let me ask you, what kind of loan programs does your mortgage company offer?
Okay. So we have an array of, when you say programs, you mean programs to help first-time home buyers or repeat buyers? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So of course, for Maryland, we have the Maryland Mortgage Program, all right, where you can get anywhere from 3 to 6% of the loan amount, not the sales price, right? The loan amount is after the down payment. So for example, if you have an FHA loan, after the 3.5% is deducted from the sales price, and then they roll back in what's called the upfront mortgage insurance premium, then that would be your loan amount amortized over 30 years, right? With whatever interest rate M&P is offering. And that's always publicized every day on their website. All right. So we have M&P that most home buyers use, most first time home buyers use. Fairly easy. We get it done in maybe 2 to 3 business days, and approval, from M&P within 2 to 3 business days. And Juanita, you can attest to that. I mean, a lot of times my
Yeah.
process has submitted a file, and it's called what we call one and done, right? She'll submit it like the day before, and the next morning we'll have a final approval.
Nice.
Okay.
That is
So you,
awesome because dealing with some lenders, the Maryland mortgage program can be a daunting task if there's some extra documents that they require after you get the pre-approval from the lender. So
absolutely.
that's really, really good to know that
Absolutely.
they want that Maryland mortgage program, that they should call you because it doesn't take a long time, and I
No,
can attest to that for
no.
you guys to get it done, and that's a good thing. That's a
It's a
really good
wonderful thing. Yeah, we've been
thing.
able to close deals within, 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes a little less, using M&P. Okay, it just all depends. So the reason why, we get it done so quickly with them is because
Mhm.
the file has to be underwritten by our underwriter, right?
Mhm. Right.
Before we can submit it to M&P, right? Other
Got it.
lenders may, I'm not sure, they may start submitting documents before the underwriter gives a final approval, right? So that can cause a lot of problems, right? There can be missing documents, things like that. So when our underwriter clears that file, then my processor will upload the file to the M&P portal for their review. Okay, so that's another reason why it's done so quickly, because everything they need, the appraisal, title work, all the income and asset documents are there, right? Everything, including the M&P documents that are required from the borrower. And then, of course, you guys probably know that the seller has to do an affidavit as well. So we get that up front as soon as we get a ratified contract. Okay.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right. So then we have pathway to purchase. Okay. You guys have
Okay.
probably been hearing a lot or seeing a lot of advertising recently about the new $50,000 that they're
Yeah.
offering. That's
Yes.
huge. That is huge for a lot of borrowers. So I have several borrowers that I've pre-approved using that program. We are able to stack programs as well, meaning you can use M&P, you can use, pathway to purchase for their purchase, right? So they may end up coming to the table with little to no money by using programs. And then, of course, your wonderful agents, you guys are wonderful agents because when you submit an offer, I know that you submitted asking for seller help sometimes. So even if they use the programs and they get seller help, they may end up getting their earnest money deposit back. They may end up getting money back at the table. Fantastic. I've had people jumping up and down. They're like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, yeah."
Yes, that is awesome.
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
That is fantastic.
Go ahead, Mashana.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Did you have any more programs you wanted to share?
Oh,
before we
yeah.
go to the next? Okay,
Yeah,
so
real quick.
you know it's a lot of them. So go ahead. I didn't want to stop you because these are
okay. Yeah, you can stop me whenever you want to ask whatever question. Yeah. So of course, we have Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. That program, of course, right now they don't have funds available. And of course, that's a great program. That's a grant program as well, where you can get. Now it may change. It kind of changes every year. Last year it was like $17,500, and that's a lot of money, right? So again, we can stack those programs. So if you've got FHLB and you've got, say, Pathway to Purchase or M&P, then we can stack those programs to help the home buyer with their down payment and closing costs. All right. Now, normally the FHLB funds are replenished the second or third week in January, but we haven't received any emails, any notifications saying that the funds have been replenished yet. But as soon as they come out with those funds, I try to, do a blast email or something to let you guys know that those funds are available and you have to work quickly. It's almost like you have to have a borrower that's ready to go under contract to get those funds because they do run out quickly. And I'm attributing that to the amount of funds that they're giving, right? So each lender is given a certain amount. It's usually about $1 million. So you guys can just imagine $1 million if you're giving $17,500 to the borrower, and that's going to run out quickly.
Right.
Yeah, because you got that's nationwide.
All around the world, right.
Yeah, it's nationwide. Yeah, you can use that anywhere. Mashana, we can use that in, North Carolina, South Carolina. We can use it anywhere. Okay. So we also have DC Open Doors. DC Open Doors is a great program for people looking to purchase in DC. If we were to couple that with FHLB, if the funds are available, then again, you can offer the client, a significant amount of money for down payment and closing costs. For Virginia, you have VHDA, and that's with the Virginia Housing Authority. Similar to, I want to say, maybe M&P. Okay. So they help, we also have, across the nation, we participate in all the down payment and closing cost assistance programs. Okay. We have 100% financing. The rates are going to be a little bit higher for 100% financing. We can go down to a 580 credit score, but generally we want to see that the buyer has some assets. All right. All of my files, when I take an application and I get their income and asset documents, I run it through what's called desktop underwriting. And I have to get either an approved eligible or I get a refer. Normally when we get a refer, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get it done, but there's something in their file that, the system doesn't like. It could be the ratios, it could be this credit score, it could be they don't have enough assets, things like that. Okay. We have a bank statement program for self-employed borrowers. You guys know that for years, self-employed borrowers, we look at their Schedule C or their business tax returns, and they write off the majority of their income. So with the bank statement program, what I do is get 12 months of consecutive bank statements, and then I submit that for income review, and they come back and all they do is take all the deposits, right? They don't look at anything else. They take the deposits from the bank statements, they add those up, divided by 12, and that would be your monthly income. So I've done several of those programs. of course, some of the criteria is that you have to put down 10%. They say you can do a 620 credit score. I haven't done anyone with a 620 credit score. Normally a 680 or above. But it's a great program, for self-employed borrowers. And the same goes for like a 1099. We have a 1099 program as well that pretty much works the same. Okay.
Good to know.
And then the Home Light program, we have something new called the Home Light program, and this would be for your sellers, right? But it would help them purchase their new residence, right? So, say you have a seller that puts their home on the market and is sitting, for a while. Home Light will allow 70 to 75% of whatever equity they built in that home to go towards their new purchase. So what that means for you is that you're writing a contract that has no contingency. All right, because we all know that when you submit a contract and it has contingency, 9 times out of 10, the seller's going to say, we don't know when their home's going to be sold. So this alleviates that headache of trying to sell their home so they can get the equity out of their home. So what Home Light does, again, they can use 70 to 75%. They can move into their home, their primary residence, the departing residence. You're still going to work with us to get that home sold. All right, you're going to work with Home Light to get that home sold. Normally within 4 to 5 months, you'll have the home sold. Okay.
That's good. That's very good information.
Y'all take notes because you dropped a lot of great gems for us, and so I know you have a lot of knowledge in the industry. So how long have you been in the mortgage and lending business? So
I've been doing this for about 20 years. I think I started like in 2000. Honestly, I can't remember. 2002, 2003, something like that. So that would be a little over 20 years. Previously, of course, I worked with attorneys. I think I told you guys that for about 18 years. And I started doing this part-time, and I just fell in love with the business and stepped out on faith, and here I am.
Yeah, you gotta love what you do, Brenda. You gotta love what you do. Because when you love what you do, it's not work.
It's not called work. It's not called work. Absolutely.
Exactly. I got it.
And I like when clients, the ones that you sent me yesterday, they literally said, we can tell that this is your passion. I love it when they say that, because I try to be as thorough as possible when I go over, getting them pre-approved. Okay.
That's awesome. Yes. So somebody's preparing to purchase a home, Brenda. What steps do you think are the most important in the process? How should they get prepared to get there?
Okay. So the first thing, of course, when the client comes to you, you're going to ask them, have you been pre-approved, right? And then when you send them to me, I'm going to go over the pre-approval process, what they need to do to get ready. Let's just say their credit score is not where it needs to be. HomeSite has what's called a what if simulator, where I can go in and say, okay, what if Mr. Johnson pays this down? What if Mr. Johnson gets a secured credit card? Things like that to improve their credit score, right? So that's one of the main things that I tell them. You want to make sure that you have a decent credit score. Again, we can go down to 580, but I try to get them to at least a 640 because that's what's required to use the Maryland Mortgage Program. You have to have a minimum credit score of 640. Some of the other programs, the Pathway to Purchase, that's not score driven. So there's no score requirement, no score requirement. Yeah, but there is a front and back end ratio that has to be met, which is 35 on the front, 47 on the back. Okay. So I tell them, credit score is very, very important. If they don't meet that, requirement, I walk them through what needs to be done to get their score where it needs to be. I always ask, do you have any savings? Sometimes you have people that have, retirement accounts, a 401k or a TSP. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell them they can use that. So a lot of borrowers are very reluctant to touch their retirement account, right? So I tell them,
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about, don't worry about that, because the home is going to pay that back for you. Once you purchase
Right.
a home, right? The interest that you're going to write off at the end of the year that you pay monthly, right? With your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, that interest is going to be on a 1098 form that they receive at the end of the year, along with their property taxes. So as soon as you say that to them, it's like, okay, that if you withdraw, let's just say 20,000 from your 401k. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But let me show you how you can put that back, right? How this house is going to help you put that money back. Again, with the interest and the property taxes that you can claim at the end of the year, every year that you own that home. And they get excited about that.
Yeah, they should be excited if it's going to help them, because you're
Yeah.
just using the money not to go shopping with it, but you're using the more money to level up and to become a homeowner, which will give you those tax credits. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
definitely for sure.
Think
That is
smart, right?
definitely
It's
for
an
sure.
investment.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah, they get really excited. They don't, a lot of borrowers, they don't know that. That's why I like doing the seminars as well. There's a lot of things that first-time home buyers, they don't have a clue. They don't know. So that's where I come in. That's my job, is to educate them on what you need to do to get prepared for buying a home.
Yes,
absolutely,
because it's very important.
Yeah, and this platform, that's what we're trying to do as well, bringing on amazing guests like yourself to try to get that information out to the masses. So once we get that person qualified for the loan, now what advice would you give them after they get that approval?
Okay, so they've been pre-approved. I've collected all their documents, and both of you guys know I will not send you a pre-approval letter until I verified income, until I've collected all of their documents, right? I will not issue a pre-approval letter, because we don't want to be stuck in a situation, where you've submitted an offer and then, the verification of employment comes back and I'm like, oh, they don't make as much as they said they do, or we can't use their overtime. Overtime has to be consistent, and it has to be, and we have to see that it's been increasing, not decreasing, right? In order to use their overtime. So we average that overtime for 2 years. All right. So what else? All right. So what I do also, I give them a list of do's and don'ts. Right? Once they get pre-approved, I give them a list of, I'm like, okay, this is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do while you're in the process of purchasing a home. So one of the biggest items would be, don't make any large purchases. Don't go out and buy a car, for instance. Now, some people, their income may allow for that, right? They may have a high enough income. They may have a low DTI, things like that. They may have a higher credit score where it didn't take much of a ding, right, when they apply for that loan. But generally speaking, no, we don't want to make any large purchases. No large purchases. Don't apply for any new credit at all. Don't do it. Because we don't want to see that you've applied for a $10,000 credit card and now your monthly payment is $200 or $300, and we have to count that payment towards your monthly debt. So now your DTI is at 56 or something, right? Doesn't mean that we can't get it done, but we don't want that, right? We want everything to stay the same. I advise them to continue being consistent with making your payments to your creditors on time. Make sure you make those payments on time, because one late can cost up to 60 points.
Wow, that's a lot.
60 points.
Deduction. Yeah, 60-point deduction. Yeah, I had a young lady a few years ago. She paid her mortgage online, and she paid it at the end of the month. But the payment was not credited to her account until the following month, till a few days later. So they counted that as a late.
Wow.
But we were able to get it fixed. We fought with the mortgage company, to get that late removed. But believe it or not, her score was 7 something and it went down to 6 something.
Wow.
Like,
it was very important to pay everything on time.
Very, very important to pay everything on time. Again, don't apply for any new credit, which definitely would include, I've had people that have gone out and purchased a car. And the lady was like, well, my son needed a car. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't reapprove you now. I've got to count that payment as $600. That goes.
And there are no more cheap car payments anymore. So
no,
right?
There are. I mean, my God, like people are
right,
$900 a month now.
Oh yeah,
a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is due to the interest rate as well. Interest rate on cars and credit cards are always going to be higher than when you're purchasing a home.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what's the going rate right now, Brenda? Could you tell us what it is?
So we're still hovering right around 6%. Some people can get under 6%. And I was talking to Mashana before, we went live. Some agents say, oh, the rates have decreased. The rates have gone down. And I'm like, don't tell the clients that, because then they're looking for that. These rates will fluctuate, by an eighth, which is 0.125 or a quarter. They have gone down, of course, significantly from last year. So we are able to, to give rates. It just depends on your credit profile. Okay. Or if you're using a program, like if you were to go to M&P's website, the Maryland Mortgage Program's website, you can see their rates today. If the borrower is using M&P, we have to go with their interest rate, and they can't buy down that interest rate. If they're not using a program, well, I'll take that back. Pathway to Purchase, you can use some of that $50,000 to buy down the interest rate.
Oh, wow. Never knew that.
Using Pathway to Purchase. You can't stack it with M&P. M&P will take precedence, over Pathway to Purchase as far as the interest rate. Yeah.
Well, that is awesome news, and I never ever knew that. And the stacking of the programs could mean that someone could virtually get in a home and not have to really put any money down, or get back their earnest money deposit, which is great.
Absolutely,
because we want to purchase a home, to purchase without hardly any money down. Is what we need right now in the world.
Yes,
we need that.
Yes, we do.
Need that. Yes, indeed. So that is great news. So let me ask you something. How do people get in touch with you so that they can get pre-qualified, whether they want to refinance, whatever it is? How do they reach you, Ms. Davis?
Sure. All right. So, and I meant to put all this on paper, but of course, you can call me, send me a text message. My phone number is 703-307-1360. My website is homeside.com/LO/B Davis. All right. On that website, you can go to a section at the bottom that says buy or purchase, right? I'm sorry, buy or refinance. And if they click on the buy, they can complete an online application. And I get an alert, right, that says they completed an application, and it does do a soft pull, which is fantastic, right? Because it takes no hit to their credit. So that's the website. Again, www.homeside.com/LO for loan officer /B Davis. All right. And then on Instagram, I'm known as Your Lender Lady. All right.
All right. Your Lender Lady.
Your Lender Lady. And on Facebook, I'm Brenda Davis. You can find me on Facebook as well.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we will make sure that we post your information for all of our viewers so they can know how to reach you and get connected with us as well. And then we can connect them with you because we all work together collaboratively as a team to make your home ownership happen. So what are we, Juanita?
We are reliable realtors.
Yes.
Providing exceptional service.
No need to go far. Come on down to AMR.
And I can say working with you, yeah, I can say working with you guys are fantastic. You're not afraid to ask for selling help, which is something I love. I love that. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy working with you guys, and I look forward to 2026 being one of the most prosperous years that we have ever had. Yeah, I think it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I claiming it. Yes.
Yes.
So 2026 is your year to become a homeowner. You need to listen to this. You need to call Brenda, call Mashana, call myself. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
Stop renting. Stop renting when you can purchase a home. Yes, that's what we want to do.
Homeowner in less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days.
Less than 30
I think the last one maybe was 19 days.
It was 19 days, Juanita.
19 days.
And they used M&P.
Yes, they did. And
Juanita,
a lot of people use programs, we know what happens.
Yep.
It's 30 plus days with other lenders.
Yeah.
30 plus days. So if you want to move fast and you want somebody that's going feet to the ground to make it happen, you got to call us. You got to call us.
Got to give me a call. I can get it done.
That's all right. Okay, Brenda. Thank you so much for coming on today.
You're welcome.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. We love you guys.
Have a wonderful day.